Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you are from, my prayer is that you are just okay and you're doing well even during this pandemic. Our subject for this video is concerning teaching and assessment of grammar. And we have 7 topics on this subject. We have background to language teaching or why teach grammar. Number 2, principles and concepts in the teaching of grammar. Number 3, factors affecting the teaching of grammar. Number 4, grammar assessment, the principles and classroom practices. And number 5, teaching and testing grammar. Number 6 is teaching demonstration. And number 7 is critiquing. So expect that after topics 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which concerns the discussion of how to teach and how to assess grammar, you will be doing a lesson plan and an assessment tool for your lesson plan, which will be demonstrated and recorded through a video like this and will be critiqued by me. The critic will be sent to you through your messenger, or it will directly be critiqued on our group chat. So without so much ado, let's dive in. Lesson 1 is why teach grammar? The background to teaching grammar. Why do we need to teach grammar? Let us see a sentence here. Yesterday, I saw a Palgish Fluster go lining Big Run the Brack. I suppose you do not understand this sentence as this is a senseless sentence. But challenge yourselves to answer the 4 questions that follow. What did the speaker see? What kind of fluster is the speaker? What is the Palgish fluster doing? And where? So let's try to answer this. First question, what did the speaker see? He had seen a Palgish fluster. What explains that? Here, yesterday I saw a Palgish fluster, and the question was, what did uh, what did the speaker see? A Palgish fluster. What kind of fluster did the speaker see? Medyo there is some mistake on this sentence. What kind of fluster did the speaker see? The answer is Palgish. Take note that most adverbs or adjectives rather, some adjectives end in ing or ish. And then next question, what is the Palgish fluster doing? You have any guess? The Palgish fluster is go-lining. And where? It is go-lining Bigran the Bra. As I have told you a while ago, this sentence is senseless because these words are just replaced with nonsense words. Actually, these words you cannot find them in the dictionary. But we can translate the sentence into yesterday I saw a new patient walking along the corridor. The question is, did you answer the question? What made you answer the questions? If you have answered the questions, I need you to write them down. Next question. Could you have answered the questions if you did not learn and understand grammar? Could you have answered the questions if you did not learn and understand grammar? I also need you to write them down. Now, why do we really need to teach grammar? According to the power of grammar learning, according to Uncle Google, Proper grammar is important because it is the language that makes it possible for us to effectively talk about language. Here, grammar is needed because it helps to avoid confusion and makes us better communicators. We acquire our language rather than learn it, and knowing the rules to our language will hopefully help us to have a better understanding of our language. What else? Proper grammar, according to here, proper grammar is important because it is the language that makes it possible for us to effectively talk about language. We can talk about a certain language using language. We can talk in English because we know the arrangement of the words in English and we know grammar. Grammar names the words and word groups that make up sentences not only in English but in almost any language. As humans, we can put sentences together even as children do. We, even as children do. There is another mistake in here. In short, grammar is important because um, it is our key to understanding each other. There are other reasons why we need to teach grammar. Number one is grammar skills will help learners to organize words and messages and make them meaningful. So you see, for example, if you ask a child to give you a sentence, he or she can make a sentence because you have already introduced him or he has already been introduced to grammar. For example, the student will say, I am beautiful. So the student knows that I is a pronoun and it can start a sentence. Am is the verb, beautiful is the adjective which complements the subject I. So, number one, grammar skills will help learners to organize words and messages and make them meaningful. Number two, without grammar, speech gets meaningless. Grammar is an essential aspect to communicate effectively. Grammar is simply creating well-organized reading and writing performances. You cannot read effectively if you do not know grammar. You can neither write effectively if you do not know grammar. Another, number three, grammar will give learners the competence how to combine words to form sentences. As I have told you a while ago, the grammar is the key to students forming their own sentence. Without students knowing grammar, they cannot form even a simple sentence. To create fully developed sentences, grammar knowledge is indispensable. We cannot do away with it. With little understanding of how language functions, learners cannot develop their language skills. Just as there are careful and effective drivers who do not know what makes a car run, so there are those, excuse me, who through practice and skillful observation have become satisfactory, even effective writers with very little understanding of the mechanics of the language. But it follows that the more you know about the form and functions of the parts that make up the larger unit, which is the sentence, the better equipped you are to recognize and to construct well-formed sentences. Next, number four. Grammar instruction rather holds an important place in foreign language learning. Have you experienced comparing the grammar rules in English to that of the grammar rules in Filipino? As we, uh, as for us Filipinos, we sometimes compare, or we sometimes learn grammar more easily if we translate. For example, verb is pandiwa, noun is pangalan, and the like. So grammar instructions holds an important place in foreign language learning because we compare English grammar to that of the grammar of a certain language, foreign language we are studying. And number 5, communicative competence is not possible without grammar. You know, in communicative competence, meaning is paramount. The best, how do you call that? Although many linguists would say that grammar is not important is not that important in communication. I say that communicative competence is not possible without grammar because you try to understand people based on their context, based on their social linguistic context. Now, without you knowing grammar, you cannot do that because you might understand the way something is delivered based on your knowledge of grammar. What if your grammar is not, what if your knowledge of grammar is not yet that established? There might be a miscommunication between you and the sender of the message.